You thought it was just teen moodiness. Until they stopped talking, their grades crashed, and something just felt off. Could it be stress? Or is it something more dangerous? Teen drug abuse is rising fast. But the truth is, most parents miss the early signs until it's too late. In this video, I'll show you the 10 red flags every parent needs to know, and how to help your teen without losing their trust. Teen drug abuse isn't always loud. It doesn't always look like a party or a scene from a movie. Sometimes, it starts in silence, a little more distance, a little more moodiness, a locked door, a skipped meal, "Don't worry, I'm fine." And as parents, we tell ourselves it's just hormones, just school stress, because we want to believe it's nothing. But sometimes, it's not nothing. Sometimes, it's the beginning of something heartbreaking. According to the CDC, teen overdose deaths have tripled in just a few years. Not doubled, tripled. And most parents never saw it coming until it was too late. This is the silent epidemic, and it's happening in homes, schools, and neighborhoods just like yours. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the 10 red flags you need to know, and how to support your teen without losing their trust. Most parents don't realize until it's too late. Don't be most parents. Watch this. When we hear that a teenager is using drugs, the first reaction is usually blame. When you hear the phrase, teen drug use, it's easy to picture rebellion, parties, bad decisions. But in reality, that's not what's happening for most teens. They're just rebelling. They're hanging with the wrong crowd. They're being stupid. But that assumption, it's not just wrong, it's dangerous. They're not using drugs to be cool. They're using them to cope. Because the truth is, many teens aren't trying to get high for fun. They're trying to feel normal, or numb the pain they don't know how to explain. They're using drugs to cope with anxiety, depression, past trauma, or overwhelming pressure to be perfect. Today's teens are under more pressure than ever. To get straight A's, to look perfect on Instagram, to keep up with TikTok, to be liked, followed, and flawless. Social media tells them they're not good enough unless they look perfect, act cool, and never show weakness. And when social media makes substance use look trendy, fun, or even harmless, it sends the message that everyone's doing it. So they turn to pills, weed, vapes, or powders to get through the day. And it's easier to get than ever before. One message on Snapchat, and a dealer delivers to their doorstep. Fake pills, laced with fentanyl, sold as something safe. Fake pills made to look like ADHD meds, Xanax, or even candy. A few clicks, and their whole life can change. 1 in 5 teens has misused prescription drugs. By 18, half of all teens have tried illicit substances. This isn't about rebellion. It's about survival. It's about teens trying to self-medicate in a world that doesn't feel safe or forgiving. And that's why your understanding, your connection, your support, matters more now than ever before. Let's talk about one of the first red flags, and one of the easiest to dismiss. A sudden, unexplainable change in your teen's personality. They were bubbly, talkative, full of life. Now, they barely say a word. They were full of energy, involved in everything. Now, they sleep all day, ignore texts, and barely eat. They used to be calm, easygoing. Now, every little thing turns into a full-blown argument. These changes don't happen overnight, and they're not always dramatic. But as a parent, you feel it. That shift, that uneasiness, that gut feeling that something just isn't right. Don't ignore it. Don't tell yourself it's just hormones or high school stress. That drastic shift in personality might not be a phase. It could be a signal that your teen is struggling, or even experimenting with drugs. The earlier you notice the shift, the sooner you can step in with love, with support, and possibly save your teen's life. They used to come out to dinner, laugh during movie night, play video games with their siblings. Now, the room stays locked, the phone's always in their hand, and when you knock, the answer is almost always, "I'm fine. Just tired." One of the most common red flags of teen drug use is isolation. They start pulling away from everything that once made him feel safe. Family, friends, hobbies, even food. It's not just privacy, it's avoidance. They skip family meals, stop showing up for events, and slowly disconnect from the world around them. At first, it looks like mood swings, but it could be something deeper. Here's what most parents tell themselves: they just want space. It's just teenage stuff. But when space turns into silence, and silence turns into total withdrawal, it's time to lean in, not walk away. Isolation is where addiction often hides. But it's also where healing can begin, if someone reaches in before it's too late. They used to hang out with the same group for years. Friends you knew, friends who came over, friends with parents you could call. Then suddenly, new people. You don't know their names. You never meet them. They come and go in flashes. Text threads, late-night pickups, cryptic messages. When you ask, it's always vague. Just someone from school. You wouldn't know them. It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. Because secrecy around friendships, especially sudden, unexplained ones, is one of the most underestimated red flags in teen drug use. Late-night hangouts. People they only text with. Friends who never come to the door. You might never hear a voice. Just see the shadow of influence growing behind the scenes. Here's the truth. Teens who are experimenting with drugs often do so in social circles that thrive on secrecy, code words, and disappearing messages. Apps like Snapchat and encrypted chats make it easier than ever to stay invisible. You don't need to know every friend. But when they suddenly change, and you're shut out completely, that's not just independence. That could be isolation within influence. You're not trying to control them. You're trying to protect them. You're not being invasive. You're being present. Because the people they surround themselves with could be leading them toward healing or harm. Some red flags are loud, but most are quiet. Easy to miss, easy to explain away, especially when we want so badly to believe that everything's fine. Here are 7 subtle but serious signs that your teen might be struggling with drug use, and you need to be watching for them. Number 1. Strange smells. A sweet, fruity, or chemical smell on their clothes, in their room, or from their backpack. If it doesn't smell like normal teen body spray, it's worth asking about. Number 2. Lying or making constant excuses. They start getting defensive over small things. Their stories don't add up. You hear, "I forgot," or, "It's not what it looks like," more often than not. Number 3. Missing cash or household items. Small amounts of money start disappearing. A piece of jewelry, gift cards. You question yourself before you question them. And that's part of the problem. Number 4. Sudden drop in grades or school effort. Assignments go unfinished. They stop caring about class. A student who once tried, suddenly doesn't. Number 5. Changes in appearance or hygiene. They stop showering, wear the same clothes for days. Hair unwashed, eyes red or glassy. They're not just tired, they're giving up. Number 6. Sleep patterns that make no sense. They're up all night, sleep all day, or they barely sleep at all. Their body clock is spinning out, and so is their stability. Number 7. Finding actual paraphernalia. This is the biggest sign parents ignore, because they don't recognize what they're seeing. If you find a vape pen, empty baggies, tinfoil with burn marks, hollowed pens, straws cut short, tiny spoons or torch lighters, please don't wait. Those aren't just weird teen stuff. Those are potential drug tools. Individually, these signs might seem small. Together, they're a warning light flashing in red. And here's the truth most parents struggle with. It's easier to look away than to ask hard questions. But your teen doesn't need you to be perfect. They need you to be present, to be aware, to be brave, and to act, even when it's uncomfortable. You might think your teen is just being reckless, that they'll grow out of it, that they're young and resilient. But here's the truth. The teenage brain isn't done developing until around age 25. And that matters more than most parents realize. The part of the brain responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and judgment, called the prefrontal cortex, is still under construction in teens. It's like handing over the keys before the engine is fully installed. When drugs enter the picture, they hijack the brain's dopamine system. That's the system that controls pleasure, reward, and motivation. It creates an artificial high so intense, the brain starts to crave it more than food, sleep, or connection. The result: drugs rewire the developing brain. And that wiring can lead to 1. Long-term damage to memory, 2. Ongoing mood swings, and 3. Deeply impaired judgment. And here's what's even more dangerous. Because their brains are still forming, teens are more likely to get addicted than adults, and less likely to quit successfully. What may start as just experimentation, or just once, can lock into their neural pathways, building a habit that feels impossible to escape. But the earlier we catch it, the more brain we can protect, the more future we can save, and the more chances we have to rewrite the story. This isn't just about bad behavior. This is about biology, and the more you understand what's happening inside your teen's brain, the better chance you have of helping them heal it. When you start to suspect drug use, it's easy to react with fear, anger, even panic. But your reaction could make the difference between shutting him down or opening him up. Remember this: they don't need a judge. They need a safe place. And right now, that place has to be you. Create connection, not control. Number 1. Stay calm, even when you're scared. Let them feel your heart before they feel your frustration. Yelling won't bring them back, but listening just might. Number 2. Ask open questions. Start with, "How are you?" Really? Then pause. Don't fill the silence. Let them step into it. Number 3. Lead with love, not punishment. Yes, there may be consequences later. But first, they need to know you're on their side, not just coming down on them. Number 4. Be consistent. Be safe. Be someone they can return to, even when they mess up. Because addiction thrives in secrecy, but it shrinks in the light of connection. Don't build a wall where there should be a bridge. Number 1. Don't yell or accuse. It doesn't shock them into honesty. It drives them deeper into hiding. Number 2. Don't search their stuff secretly. It may feel like doing something, but it can destroy trust you'll desperately need. Number 3. Don't use shame or threats. You've ruined your life. Look what you've become. That language doesn't inspire change. It paralyzes it. And number 4, never compare them to someone else's kid. They're not your friend's honor student. They're your child, and they're in pain. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be the one place they know they're not alone. Because when they feel safe enough to talk, that's when the healing begins. Sometimes the most terrifying moment for a parent isn't discovering the problem. It's figuring out how to talk about it. You don't want to push them away. You don't want to say the wrong thing. But silence won't save them. Connection will. And it starts with the first few words. 1. I've noticed some changes. Can we talk? It's gentle. It's non-accusatory. You're not demanding answers. You're inviting conversation. You're opening the door, instead of kicking it down. 2. You're not in trouble. I'm here to understand. Most teens expect anger, punishment, lectures. This line disarms that fear. It tells them, you're not on trial. You're still loved. That's powerful. That's what makes them stay at the table. 3. I love you, no matter what. We'll get through this together. This is the line that changes everything. Not, if you fix this, I'll love you again. Not, as long as you stop. But unconditional, steady love. Right now, in the middle of the mess. That's what every hurting teen is praying to hear, whether they say it or not. 4. What's really going on lately? It sounds simple, but it's an open door. It gives them permission to speak past the small talk, past the, I'm fine. It signals that you're ready to hear whatever they've been holding in. You don't need a PhD in psychology. You don't need the perfect speech. You just need a calm voice, an open heart, and the courage to say something before it's too late. Let's be real. The moment you start wondering, could my teen be using drugs? You're already in a place no parent wants to be. But here's what most parents don't hear enough. You don't need proof to take action. You need courage. Too many parents wait. Wait until it's obvious. Until a crisis forces their hand. Until it's nearly too late. But addiction doesn't wait. And teen brains don't recover as easily as adult ones. The earlier you step in, the greater the chance of full recovery. Don't wait for proof. You are the parent. Your instincts are valid. If something feels off, it probably is. You don't need to catch them red-handed. You just need to care enough to start talking. Start the conversation early. No accusations. No lectures. Just start with honesty. Say, I've noticed some changes, and I care about you too much to stay silent. Let them know you're coming from love, not control. Reach out for support. You don't have to do this alone. Consider contacting the following people. 1. The school counselor. They're trained to spot substance issues early. They know your teen's academic, emotional, and social landscape. 2. The family therapist. They can help you open up the conversation without turning it into conflict. Therapy isn't just for crisis. It's for prevention. 3. The pediatrician. A doctor your teen already trusts can be a powerful ally. They can assess physical health, substance use, and even refer you to specialists. 4. The local addiction resources. Look for teen-specific support groups, outpatient programs, or crisis lines in your area. Many are free, many are confidential, and many can save lives. You are not overreacting. You are not being dramatic. You are being brave. The conversation you start today might be the reason your child is still here tomorrow. Maybe right now, you feel scared. Maybe this all hit a little too close to home. Maybe you've already seen the signs, and you don't know what to do next. If that's you, take a breath. You are not failing. You are not alone. And there is help available. Right now. 1. SAMHSA National Helpline. If you need someone to talk to immediately, call SAMHSA's free, confidential 24/7 helpline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357. They'll connect you to local treatment services, support groups, and crisis counselors who understand exactly what you're facing. Log on to drugfree.org, Partnership to End Addiction. Visit drugfree.org. It's one of the most trusted hubs for parents dealing with teen substance use. They offer expert guidance, downloadable scripts, live chat support, and even free parent coaching. Because the best kind of help is help from people who've been there. If your teen's drug use is affecting the whole family, and it often does, Alnan and Alateen offer peer support groups for parents, siblings, and even teens themselves. It's a safe space to share your experience, ask questions, and hear from others walking the same path. If in-person help feels too overwhelming right now, start small. There are dozens of text and chat therapy platforms where you can connect with licensed counselors from your phone. Services like BetterHelp, TalkSpace, and 7 Cups offer low barrier entry to professional guidance, without judgment. You don't have to have all the answers today. You don't have to fix it alone. What matters most is that you show up, stay present, and reach out before it's too late. If your teen is struggling, you might feel powerless. You might feel like you're losing them, like nothing you say or do is getting through. But hear this: you are not powerless, and they are not lost. Even if they push you away, even if they slam doors, ignore your texts, or say things they don't mean, they still need you. They need your steadiness, your patience, your presence. You can set boundaries and be loving. This is not about letting everything slide. It's about loving him fiercely enough to hold the line, with compassion. You can say, "I won't let this continue," and also say, "I'll never stop loving you." Both can be true, and both can save their life. With your help, they can recover. They can heal. They can build a future that's bigger than this moment, even if they can't see it yet. Early action saves lives. You don't have to wait until rock bottom. You don't have to wait for a crisis. Start the conversation. Ask the hard questions. Reach out for help. Be their anchor before the storm gets stronger. You may not have chosen this battle, but you can fight it. With love, with truth, with courage. And if you do, you just might be the reason they make it to the other side. If this video gave you even one insight, one phrase you didn't know how to say, or one moment of clarity about your teen, please, don't keep it to yourself. Right now, another mom or dad is lying awake at night, worried sick, too afraid to speak up, too overwhelmed to know where to start. You could be the one to reach them. With just a share, with one comment, one green heart. Drop a green heart in the comments if this helped you. Your story might help someone else feel seen. Let's show struggling parents they're not alone. Not today, not ever. That one friend who's been acting strong, but you know they're scared. Send this to them. You might give them the words they've been searching for. We're building a space where parents support parents, where mental health isn't taboo, where love is stronger than addiction. Be part of that movement. We've got more tools, more guidance, and more real conversations coming your way. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.